Alright guys, so we're working on the CA. Took the sediment bowl off and I'll kind of get in here and show you guys a little better. Now they said this thing may have ran last winter or last summer. I don't know if that is the truth. I mean, that thing is rotten. Like, holy crap, there's a lot of rust in the tank too. But wow, it's like rust powder that's like got fuel in it. It's like mud. So that's definitely been sitting for more than a year. That just doesn't happen overnight. So here's what it looks like with the fuel tank off, guys. Pretty dusty in there. I could probably reroute the cable now through there because I just put the positive cable on the outside. So now that's probably a good thing. I can take that tank off and now I can reroute the cable through there. It's actually supposed to come through that hole over there and then run up by the steering and hook onto the battery connection up there. So just wanted to show you guys that sediment bowl as we are cleaning the tank out today, and then I'll get carb parts and get the carburetor rebuilt. So alright guys, before I put the carburetor back together for the Allis Chalmers CA, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what's inside, what I did to clean it out, and how it kind of works. I'm not an expert on this old technology, and I still have a lot of questions, but I kind of know the basics about it. And parts should be here shortly, soon, and then I can go ahead and rebuild the carburetor. But I'll kind of tell you guys about how it should all go back together and what kind of mess ups I had and how to not do that so you don't get the wrong parts. So this is the top half of the carburetor. They call these updraft carburetors because the throttle plate's on top. So that's going to go right to the intake manifold. You guys can see it's a Marvel Schebler TSX 486. Now the 486 is for an Allis Chalmers CA. I looked it up. You can see it's a Model B, which I believe has the adjustment like that on the bottom of the bowl, or maybe that's a Type C. I want to say this bowl is not the correct one, but I could be wrong. I couldn't find any with this kind of adjustment on the bottom. So if you guys know anything about that, and it doesn't it's supposed to be set to a certain turn, but I don't know why, because it's like it doesn't have any spring tension, so it's like it could just float around. So maybe I'll have to bend one of the tabs down when I get it set, and hopefully it works. But here is the low speed fuel mixture screw. Turning it in richens it, and turning it out leans it out. I have it set at 1 turn out. Should be okay right there. Underneath this thing in the center is the Venturi, which basically creates low pressure, I believe, or high velocity, something like that. And it allows fuel and air to be pulled up into the throttle plate area, up into the intake. So it's basically a restriction to increase velocity. So that's the Venturi. I'm pretty sure it's removable and replaceable because it's got a number on it. Here is the needle seat, and then there's a jet in there that I cleaned out. Make sure that jet is clean. It's right by the needle seat there. And then there's a bunch of holes everywhere. There's a one down behind there, one there. So make sure you guys are spraying out all the holes with some carb clean or brake clean, something that's going to get that out of there. I did soak this in the ultrasonic cleaner, and that helped because this thing was full of rust. I'll put some pictures on the screen so you guys can see how it looked when I first took it off. I think I made it look a lot better than when it first came off the tractor, so that is good. Basically the fuel line here goes right into the inlet needle and seat, and the float obviously is going to get connected right there. And the float, you can see this would be the top of the carburetor, so the float's going to hang down from there. So when you put the float on, I'll show you how that goes. The float's going to sit like this, with the big part sticking up if you're looking at it from this way. So that actually hangs in the bowl. You know, that would be in the bowl. And now there's the needle. In this one, it's just a metal tip needle with no spring, so it's just gravity drops it out, so it closes off fuel. That's the idle speed adjustment screw. Basically just opens the throttle plate a certain amount to increase your idle speed. Here's the bottom bowl, and these are really heavy bowls, guys. Like, oh my god, they definitely made carburetors solid back in the 50s for sure. This is the choke arm on the back side. That's just connected with a rod. That's the main tube or nozzle, I believe, in the center there. And there's some holes right here that are all connected. So basically, if you blow through this nozzle with some brake clean or carb clean, it all comes out these holes here, that one down there, and I think that was it. But make sure all those passages are clean. Take some compressed air as well. That will help and blow out all that stuff. If there's any debris in there, get it out of there. It looks like the main nozzle is removable with like a 10mm socket, but you have to have a really thin-walled socket in order to get it out, because I was having trouble with normal sockets, so I just kind of left it in there. And then, like I said, there's a little, I'm not sure what that is, if it's a vent or something, but I took it out. There's not a hole in it. It's not a jet, so I'm not exactly sure what that little brass one is. And then, like I said, the bottom here, I'll show you, has this adjustable, I think it's called the Power Jet adjusting needle is what this is called. Because the I looked at the manual for the Marvel Schebler, and I was kind of reading about how it worked. And I guess it's called the Power Jet adjusting screw, and I don't know how it's going to ever hold the amount of turns out it's supposed to be. But I guess you can rev it up, and this is actually for like when it's under load, giving it the correct fuel mixture. I believe that's how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to probably set it at like 2 turns out, and you can see it's reverse threaded. So if you turn it to the left, it goes in, and if you turn it to the right, it goes out. So I was reading online, and I'm just going to set it at 2 turns out. Maybe I'll just bend the tang up so it can't move, and then I'll go from there. If we need to adjust it, we can just do that from there. But this is the basics of the carburetor. Here's the gasket that I ordered that was wrong. This is for a different style carburetor, I think a Zenith. That was the part number that I bought. So the right one should be here today, so I'll have that put together, and then I gotta slap it on the tractor. The gas tank's all cleaned out, sediment bowl, fuel line is flushed out, guys. And other than that, we're gonna put this carb together. I probably won't make a video. I don't have my tripod currently here, so I'll make sure I get some videos, you know, when the carburetor is back on the tractor and in an initial startup, if it will start. So that is the basics of this old 1950s Marvel Schebler carburetor. Not sure exactly if it's the right one for the tractor, but it looked like it was when I looked it up. So that is good. Nobody modified anything. So yeah, we'll see if it runs and see if all the components do their job and the float works and the gasket seal. That would be awesome. So here's the Allis Chalmers CA. We actually started it up and had it running. It's got some issues. I think it's running on 2 or 3 cylinders. I don't think it's running on 4 cylinders. You guys can see we got the carburetor back on. It smokes an awful lot. I'm not sure if that's just the rings still stuck. You know, I might put some ring free in the down the spark plug holes or in the oil, possibly to get the rings to free up. The carburetor also could be running rich, but it definitely sounds like a misfire, and I can't tell. I tried pulling off the wires, and it's got these holes in the manifold, so it's kind of hard to tell, but it does run. I'll go ahead and start it up here in just a second. I had a little bit of an oil leak. The oil filter was a little loose. Possibly that oil line might be leaking too, but it hasn't really, not too bad right now. So other than that, guys, it does run. We'll go ahead and start it up in just a second for you guys so you guys can hear it run. I'm on the CA here. We'll go ahead and start it up for you guys. You can hear it. It's still misfiring a little bit. It's a little bit better than we had. Better. It's not smoking as bad, which is good. Gotta run a little bit. I think I still am only running on 3 cylinders. Still smoking on quite a bit. The valves have a lot of dirt and nastiness on them because every time I pull the plugs out, they're just full of stuff. As you guys can see, oil pressure's right up there. He is running though. Might just need a little bit of a tune-up to get it running better. We got a slight oil leak down here. Looks like the oil line coming out behind the oil filter. The oil filter was loose, so I tightened that and it still wasn't the problem, so I'm thinking it's the line. But anyways, here's the old C8 running. The PTO worked. The hydraulics lift did not work yet. So it's running real rough. It's going to take a while for it to run better. But I'll keep digging into it. But we'll throw this in the video, as you guys, all the clips you guys seen before. But here it is, first start. Runs pretty good for what it is. I mean, it's sat for many years, so just to hear it run at all is a miracle. But other than that, guys, we'll get some more videos on this soon. We got more tractors coming in. But until next time.